So basically at this juncture, the microphones are set up and we are ready to start getting sounds. Full disclosure, I have given this song to Dash already and I've told him a lot of what I want performance-wise, where I want fills, the beats that I want. Just generally speaking, I've been in production of this song for a while, so I'm very familiar with the song and I'm pretty firm with what I want, and I've kind of told him where to take things and where he can have liberties with fills and beats. But generally speaking, I've kind of given him an overview of what the song is prior to even us showing up today. So he's very familiar with the song, so that's good. Hopefully it'll lead to a nice, smooth session, but that's besides the point. Do you want to run from the top and just get a feel for the song?
Yeah.
Okay, good, yeah. Nice. Okay, so 2 bars in.
Cool.
So basically during this first take, I'm letting him get comfortable with the track. I'm not gonna start making notes quite yet for him because it's too soon to kind of get in this creative way, but I already have ideas as a producer what I want here. Having said that, this groove is pretty great and this is probably the groove I want for the first verse. But I have little things here and there I'm gonna want. Maybe big things, who knows? Maybe overarching things here. As he's playing, I'm really just listening to what he's doing and making notes in my head of what I want. And again, he's a great drummer, so when I gave him this and gave him a fake drum track of what I wanted him to play, and he's doing a pretty good job of recreating some of those ideas. Like those stops are great. You can see the drum stem down there in my session. That's actually what the drums I gave him to learn, basically. You can hear the hi-hat is really focused, which is great. Even in this chorus where we have that splash stuff going on. Let me make sure the room's out. Cool, dude, you sound great. Thanks. As per usual. I was just telling the camera about how you've learned this song, so we're in a good spot, obviously. But I had a couple of things I just want off the cuff revise. Yeah. That's cool. Let me listen back to one thing real fast. So right there, that's in the middle of verse 1.
Yeah.
There's that stop, but before the start of verse 2. Before the second part of verse 1. Yeah. I think I want like a double snare thing at the end there. So it's like, but I don't think you're ready for it. Like something there, like a 2 snare thing. Yeah, something like that, and then picking right back up on the one of the next part. Now, and I'm trying to, so I think I might want to crash there when we pick back up. In other words, when we come back into that verse. A crash there to kind of enter us back in. And I think that's in both verses we do that.
Okay.
But in the second verse, stop. And there's I think that one you did the snare thing on, but that one I'd prefer the kick thing on, if that makes sense. So in other words, swap what we did. So in other words, in verse 2, the stop, you did the snare thing. I really want that in the first verse to really,
Oh.
you know what I mean? So that it accents and sort of identifies what that section is. In the next verse, in the second verse halfway through, I think we can do the kind of the double kick thing with the hat.
So just like, so the first one, so do you like what happens in the second half of in the second verse because that one I do this, I go, right? It's kind of like a break beat.
Yeah.
Like a split second, but I was doing this.
I like that better.
Cool.
That's,
It's more solid.
it's more solid, more rock and roll, you know, yeah.
Do that in the first one, and in the second one.
Can you do a kick with a hat? Doom, 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 something like that, I don't know. Can we try something like that?
Yeah.
Basically, that or, to be honest with you, if I don't like that, we may just go do the same thing we do in the first verse. That same, because that snare foo is cool. I don't, you know, we may not need to change it the second time either, but I like to just hear it.
Yeah.
And then again, on the downbeat of that second part of the second verse, doing that crash in.
Got it.
I love we're doing this first part of the second verse right here. It's great.
Cool.
Love that. The tag section is which I'm calling this part. I love that. Now, when you come back into it, I love you doing that chorus beat with the hi-hat.
Right.
But the last time you go back, so at the very end of the song, how we end the song,
Yeah.
we go back into that, but instead of doing the hi-hat, the dancey hi-hat part, just lay in on I guess, just in the quarter notes instead. Does that make sense on the hat?
Yeah.
So we don't go back to the dancey beat, you know?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I had was, I'm gonna listen real fast to the chorus beat in the last chorus. One second. I kind of call those like rattlesnakes. I don't know why. They kind of sound like rattlesnakes to me, right?
Oh, like the.
Like the hi-hatty.
The.
Yeah. Can you show me what it would sound like a little bit more opened in the chorus? On this take, I'd like to try that. It may be too much, but I feel like it may drive it home even more. And what we may end up doing is doing the first chorus the way it is, which is that same beat but a little more closed, and then choruses 2 and 3 doing that opened.
Yeah.
But just for this take, can we do them all that open just so we can hear it?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me hear the feel going into the song real fast.
I think on the reference, I actually played it wrong. There it's.
That's what I wanted.
Okay.
Can we do that? I knew there was something that I was trying to remember, but I couldn't remember that. Yeah, that's the thing I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Michael Pepe. I'm a record producer based here in Los Angeles, California. I work in the rock, alternative, and pop space with some bands and artists you may have heard of, such as Taking Back Sunday, Little Lotus, As It Is, Little Huddy, Ann Arbor, and Sidney Sprague, amongst many others. This course is gonna be a lot of fun. We're going to go over drum production, drum recording, and drum mixing, all from top to bottom, based around a song named Introverted Hurricane by the band The Hire, who have produced and recorded and mixed their whole new record that's coming out. We're gonna start by setting drums up with my good friend Dash Hutton, who's gonna be playing on the session for us. We're gonna go from setting up all the microphones to me going through and producing all the parts with him, having him play what I need him to play in order to serve the song and the production, then taking it back to my studio where we're going to edit, beat detect, and mix all the drums starting from square one. It's a wonderful course on how to make drum production fit the song production and how to serve the song at hand. I highly recommend it, and it's a kind of a peek behind the curtain as to how I can get my drums to serve the productions that I do. Thank you so much for watching. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. Cool, okay, so let's do another pass with all those notes.
She's an introverted hurricane, but she'll never take your last name. She's sharper than a razor blade, but I don't think you're ready for it. Your money can't buy her things. She'll do it all her damn self.
I love that tom thing you do in the middle of that. That was something I made note for him before the session. Love that snare for going that chorus. Love that. Dash really studied the parts I gave to him. Great, Phil.
She's an introverted beauty queen. Her emotions are a wild thing. She's harder
You missed the crash there.
than
It's okay, we'll get it.
and there's no way to ignore it. She's got class like whiskey need. A drop
So I don't like that kick thing as much in the second verse. I like the snare thing that we did in the first verse. So we're gonna go ahead and just use it the second time as well.
she's never good at giving up. Shoot your shot, get it when you got young. It could be the only chance you get. Nothing's gonna happen overnight, but when you treat her right, she's never gonna disappear. You could try your best and just like the best, you're only young once. Shoot your shot, give it when you got young. It could be the only chance you get. Intimacy is immediate, and I know I'll stay a while. I'm just craving your control, feel no pressure. I can feel you flow through me, a guilty pleasure. You slow me down like latency, a new channel of frequency. I'll transfer you and take you away. Shoot your shot, give it when you got young. It could be the only chance you get. Nothing's gonna happen overnight, but when you treat her right, she's never gonna disappear. You could try your best and just like the best, you're only young once. Shoot your shot, give it when you got young. It could be the only chance you get.
Make sure we're out. There's no room bleed. Cool. How'd you feel, dude?
It's good. I missed the verses, but
That's okay. Yeah, it was there. So the second verse, I think we can just do that same snare fill from the first one. I like the kick thing's cool, but it doesn't make enough of an impact. The snare thing really accents it there.
cool.
Remember to hit the crashes on the yep.
Yeah,
The hi-hat pattern in the chorus.
yeah,
Choruses 2 and 3, I love being that opened.
yeah.
But chorus 1, I liked how you were doing it the last take. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah. It was
It's just slightly less open, that's all, just so that we get a little more splash in courses 2 and 3. The last tag sounds good, just laying into the hi-hat. Like, that feels nice and rock and roll like that. I love that.
Yeah.
I think the ending of the song, though, something's going on. I want to just, let me see. Maybe just that, the whole bar. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
Dot, 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 dot.
Just finishing, yeah, just doing that whole bar like. Let's try that this time. That may be too much. Other than that, I meant to tell you this last time, and I forgot to. In the bridge section, which we're considering this part right here,
Yeah.
I just want kick there, like you're doing, but with the backbeat hi-hat. So that, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and we may end up taking out the fancy work,
Right.
but I'm down to hear it. I would say if you're gonna do fancy work like that,
Yeah.
fit it, do the just the kick with the backbeat, and fit in any fancy work at the ends of his lines. You know, just at the ends of those 2 bar sections that he's singing, basically, to make it a logarithmic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're doing the tom drum on the second half of the bridge. That's great.
Yep.
It was going into one of these choruses. Let me check. I like that fill a lot. I think it was the fill going into the chorus too. That one was weird. It's like we didn't play into. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I want it to be a little more exciting going into that.
Okay. A little longer. It's just too short.
Yeah, it was a little short. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just do another take. I think most of that was really starting to get there. Like I said, there was just a few things we still need to tighten up, you know? So basically what we're saying is we're gonna do one more take that's super strict, which is this take.
She's an
where he's not gonna take too many chances or allowances. He's gonna stick straight to the script. And then we're gonna do one last take, which Dash and I typically do a lot of, where he does one where it's like, throw the kitchen sink at it. If it's too much, play too much. And that's not a take I'll keep a lot of, but it's a take where I'll keep maybe a field or two, where it's like, he has allowance to go crazy. Sometimes he gives me some real magic that as a producer, I wanna pick that out when I let him off the leash. But this one's very strict, by the book, stick to the script take. Hi-hat work is immaculate so far. This song is really big on the hi-hat work, if you can't tell. That's one of the biggest things about this production, specifically the drum production I wanted to keep really focused on, was the hi-hat work is so important to drive the song going. Every section has its own little hi-hat feel that needs to be locked in, which is why Dash is the perfect drummer for this. But in general, it's just something I've been super focused on. It's one of those songs where the hi-hat mic will probably get used a lot in the final production, because I want to be able to highlight all the different sections that are happening. Great, awesome. That feel was great. That's the one right there. That was excellent. Like, I know almost unequivocally that'll be the edited take, or the edited fill for that take, or for that section.
I'm just craving your control, feel no pressure. I can feel you flow through me, a guilty pleasure. You slow me down like latency, a new channel or frequency. I'll transfer you and take you away. Shoot your shot, give it what you got, young love. It could be the only chance you get. Nothing's gonna happen overnight. Oh, when you treat her right, she's never gonna disappear.
Woo!
Try your best and just like the best, you're only young once. Shoot your shot, give it what you got, young love. It could be the only chance you get.
Great. Little hang over the high at the end, no big deal. Awesome. Dude, solid take.